Hey everyone, and welcome back to Hayes Kitchen. We're going to be making our own red pesto sauce today. We're going to use some red peppers, we've got some sun-dried tomatoes, pine nuts, garlic, a little bit of basil going through there. So simple to make, but you can just keep that in the tub and use it as and when you want to use it. Plus it's a great way of getting some of your vegetables into your kids. We're going to serve this up with a little bit of whole wheat spaghetti and a beautiful tear and share sourdough garlic cheesy bread. I mean, what is there not to like about that in any way whatsoever? So first up, we're going to be using our Morphy Richards table blender today with the total control system. I'm going to add into that simple ingredients. So we're going to take about 8 or 9 sun-dried tomatoes. We've got the type here that are just in oil. You can add the oil in there as well. Then we're going to take about 5 or 6 leaves with the stalks of basil. Into that, 4 cloves of garlic. And then, just going to grate just a little bit of Parmesan. And we'll save the rest of that for over the top of our spaghetti. We've got a good handful of Parmesan going in. Olive oil, 3 to 4 teaspoons. Going to just help it all blend together. Good pinch of salt and pepper. And I've got about a good pinch fresh parsley. Got 1 red pepper. Just chop that down. Doesn't need to be too rustically chopped up because the blender is going to do all the work for me anyway. Now, optional. If you've got kids, don't bother putting this in. If they don't mind chilli, they can. I'm just going to use half a chilli, just because I like a little bit of heat going through there. So half of 1 red chilli. Now, we've got about 3 or 4 large handfuls of pine nuts. That's it. That is your pesto. Super simple. So on with our lid. And you've got 1 to 5 speed settings, or you can use one of the presets. You've got dips, smoothies, soups, sauces. I'm just going to use the first one for sauce. Press that. Let it do its thing. Now this is optional, but I kind of like just adding a little bit of tomato paste in there as well. That's done. So that's really good. I'd just have that as dips with like cucumber, carrot or some tortillas. That'd be perfect. However, we're going to use some whole wheat spaghetti and knock up a really simple pasta. Right, this sort of thing holds about 2.1 litres, so I know that I've got enough sauce there for a good couple of weeks at least. I'm going to pop some of this in the freezer as well. It's ideal to take out whenever you need it. It's a really quick sauce. It melts down from frozen in about 5 to 10 minutes. Right, so we're going to get some water up to the boil and we're going to add ourselves a good handful of whole wheat pasta. While the pasta's melting down, we're going to get on with our little bit of bread. So, large bit of foil. We've got a sourdough loaf. This is a little bit of an indulgence, so this is your Friday or Saturday night treat, okay? Now onto that, I'm going to go on with some olive oil, massage that all in, and then we're going to go inside with little bits of mozzarella, stuffing that inside, all those little gaps. Good handful of our basil as well. So roughly chop that. Exactly the same process, you're just going to scatter that in and get that all amongst those little gaps. Wrap your foil around the outside. We'll get some more of our Parmesan and a little bit of that cheese all over the top. So that's going to go into the oven at 180 Celsius for around 10 to 15 minutes. Get on with our pasta. So into a pan, we're going to add about 4 or 5 decent tablespoons of our sauce. And then into our sauce, we're going to go in with our whole wheat pasta. Give that a really good stir through. That, after literally 2 or 3 minutes, is good to serve up. So grab ourselves a nice big plate. There's enough here for a good 2 to 3 people. That we can just scatter just a small amounts. Just our rocket, just over the top. A little bit of our basil, just a little tiny chop. Just flake them around the sides. A little drizzle of our oil. Season, salt and pepper. And then finally, a small amount of our Parmesan. Just dropped over the top. How good does that look? Not forgetting our garlic pizza bread, which I have to say, looks pretty Incredible. How about that for a Saturday night feast, huh? Got these beautiful little cheesy sections in there that you can just pull out, all right? So let's have a little test of our pasta, shall we? That really is something else. That's absolutely incredible. So what is there not to love about that type of simple cooking? You've got that beautiful red pesto sauce, that olive oil, that kick of garlic and chilli, got a little bit of parmesan and rocket over the top, and our simple tear and share sourdough or spelt loaf, whichever you want to use. If you do recreate this one, which I hope you do, hashtag with Haste Kitchen as always. And if you want to know more about the Morphy Richards table blender with its total control technology, description box below. It takes you straight through to the website with all the information you're going to need at www.morphyrichards.co.uk. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. Please subscribe, tell everyone about the channel, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye bye.